I went for a long walk in nature, sat down, and do something which I call it disconnect, whereas I just sit and then I disappear until something interrupts the flow. And so I came back home, and I talk about this thing in my book or in videos in the past, whereas going away into nature and then coming back to the mechanical world, there's always something, in fact, many gifts and pleasurable experiences to have as a result of that. And so this is the first thing I experienced or saw when I came back, right? So I'm going to read this comment. It's on this video. Guilt is a step away from insane. I pinned the comment. Coach Rick. Listen, brother. With any criminal case, they have to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that your intent was to commit a crime. Ignorance is no excuse, but ignorance is not proof of intent to commit a crime. With that said, civil cases are based on preponderance of evidence. So it becomes a case where the side that has the most ammo generally wins. I don't think you're going to have any issues criminally, Craig. I'm a retired prosecutor's office detective and former special deputy United States Marshal. So I have a pretty good understanding of how the system works on both the state and federal level. With that said, your demeanor is definitely taken into account with every case. If the individual appears to be callous and not concerned about the potential hurt caused either directly or indirectly by the accused person, the prosecuting side will pull out all the stops to make an example of the person. Whereas when an accused individual shows real remorse, even if not thought to be guilty of the matter, it's easier for the prosecutor to fall back and not push to pursue the matter further. Listen, this is the part what made my heart stop. Listen, I got involved with BCC because of seeing your videos on YouTube. My heart stopped right there. I too lost 24K, 5K of my own, the rest I made in interest. But still, all of my funds are gone, left with 55 BCC coins worth next to nothing. But I'm not mad at you for it. I'm a grown-ass man, and I made a decision to put my money into something that really looked good and worked great for 6 months while I was in it. And my heart really started beating better at that moment. Yeah. I was able to pay off some things, and so there was a positive side to it too. But the loss is what it is. I have to eat that, and I can't blame anyone else for, nor do I ever intend to do so. I just pick up the scraps and get back to work taking chances with crypto, because there are no other investment platforms out there where you can potentially take a few $100s and turn it into thousands of dollars in a matter of weeks. Keep your head up and always be honest with everyone. People will respect you for it, even if they're hurt. That's just human nature, bro. This is like the best comment I've received for a while now. And then, I rarely get someone who tells me that they started in BCC as a result of seeing my videos, because I didn't have much viewers back then. My videos mostly got like 200 views, 6 months ago. My views didn't start going up till November, and then after it went down, that's when my views really exploded. But one thing that did strike me was his words about showing remorse. And I would say that, on YouTube, it's hard to show remorse because there's an onslaught, there's an attack of negativity coming my way, and the default mode is for me to be defensive and also supportive of those who are, in the same boat that I am, which is holding tokens and waiting to see what Bitconnect does. So, remorse it's hard to show remorse while being defensive and supportive. The remorse, I guess, is shown, but not as much as I could, right? So that kind of made me think about that for a moment. And there's something else I wanted to say. Wow, slipped my mind. Oh yeah, that you know what, man. A lot of people, even though everyone lost when the lending ended, if I think about how many people have gained prior to that, like before that, like anyone who was involved from like 4 or 5 months ago, and BitConnect was pretty much around. I promoted it for 9 months. So I say the real losses happened with anyone that was signed up on the last 2 months. But anyone before that most likely gained a lot, most likely paid off a bill, most likely went on a trip, most likely did something that was life changing or had something about their life change. Even learning about cryptocurrency, or getting into it. So there's a lot of positives, man. And that's another reason why maybe remorse, it doesn't get shown as much because considering all the positives versus the negatives, and then again the negatives coming on YouTube is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. But if I were to say sit in a room with people who were involved in BitConnect for the last 6 months, right, there would be only a small fraction of those people who would be like have any type of anger or hate, because of all the positives and all the gains that were made in BitConnect by so many over that the last 6 months period of time. So, just wanted to say that, hey, and man, if you are having a bad day, or if it's not a bad day, but if you want to improve the quality of your life, spend time in nature, man. Go out there alone. Go out there alone, and and if you can't make it, then buy my book and read it, and it will take you there. Right? Yeah. Nobody's gonna buy my book though, so it's like that's a joke, right? Yeah.